Forward. All righty. Good morning, everyone. I am Patrick, and I am recording this now, so let me minimize that. So kind of the topic of this today is talking about Infinite Campus, their learning management system, which is Campus Learn. It builds off of Gradebook. Like I said, secondary already use Gradebook for their assignments and such. Elementary is starting to use that this year. So Campus Learn is the learning management system, which is pretty much assigning assignments to students and having them submit assignments back in, all in one place. The one thing we kind of heard after the spring was too many different ways that students were expected to submit assignments for different teachers. Secondary, this teacher does this, teacher does this. In elementary, this grade does this grade does this. So the idea is this standardizes how assignments will be pushed out and will be submitted. That being said, you will have the ability to allow resources from other areas. So if you want to use a Google Classroom, you would just link to that inside of the assignment and they can go to that. Or if you have a Zoom that you want them to participate in, you would put that Zoom link inside the assignment. Or if you have a Teams, you would point them to that Teams at that point. But when it comes time for them to submit the assignment, due to coordination of everything, if you push it in through the assignments in Campus Learn, it actually goes automatically into your gradebook, saving you a couple steps. And also it makes it so much easier for students and parents to have an understanding and expectation of where to look for assignments. So that they can help, parents can help support the students, and students have a little autonomy about and ownership about how they can find the assignments. So I'm going to start off just by showing you I logged in as a teacher, and nobody look at her name up here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show how it looks. So most of you are familiar with campus instruction. Let me move that out of the way. And most of the time when you log in, it comes right to here anyway in the control center. But you go to your gradebook. So in the gradebook, you would add yourself an assignment for this class. And most of you in secondary already understand that you're just creating an assignment, boom, boom, the defaults, formative assessment is what I'm going to call it, what kind of grading task, things of that sort, when it's going to be due and assigned. For elementary, we'll go over this more in depth when we talk about gradebook. So I'm going to go kind of quickly just to show the learn features at this time. So once you get all the setup for the assignment done up here, now down here is a little caret called for students. So when you click that, you can add directions for students. This is where you would link to your Zoom that you created. So for elementary, if you're going to do a Zoom that morning, boom, throw it in there into your homeroom. If you want to add a YouTube video, you can add YouTube in there to where they can watch it, things of that sort. So you can put references. If you have a Teams that you want this class to point to, put the link to that team in there, or a Google Classroom, or just a document or a worksheet. You can put those also. You can also upload those. So if I have a Word document that I want the class to use as a template for the assignment, I would click upload. I would find that document on my computer, and then I would upload it. And then students, when they see it, will see that document, pull it down, make all the editing that they need to, save it, and then they will have a place where they can submit it. And it'll be a different one for each one of them. So that would be kind of where you can add instructions, directions, maybe links to resources. And I say links to resources because a lot of times folks are using just different resources. Hey, go watch this video right now, or use this to help you on some assignments. So that would be where you can add those resources that are web-based out in the real world. They're asynchronous ones, or links to your Zoom. So I'm going to say link to Zoom, because maybe that's where you want, if you're having multiple assignments that day for your different sections, you can have your different Zooms here. So you protect that Zoom. It's not out there publicly, so people can't get in there, and you can protect the students. You have it inside here. It only goes to the students in that class. So you create your Zoom, throw it in here. No worries about having to email that Zoom to the students, things of that sort. You put it in here, they know to go to the assignment, click the Zoom, and it opens up. We have Zoom installed on all of the devices that are going home with students, so it should just be a matter of clicking that button The first time they might have to put their name in, but after that, it'll just pull up Zoom. There, like I said, there's YouTube that you can have. You want images up here, you can have them, things of that sort. So this is where you give the directions for the students. Down here is what you want the students to do. Again, these are really kind of interesting and simple. A quick assessment is where you can create a quiz. Let me drag this out of the way a little bit again. Where you have different questions, kind of like a Google form or a Microsoft form. You create a quiz here. You can also, again, it's text editor. You can use an image if you need to, because I know like in high school science classes that they would use images and you would describe it. So you would say, here's a picture of something, and you say, what is whatever it is? Down here you would say, you know, leg, then you come over and create arm, exactly, and you would say what the correct answer is, okay? I can add another answer if I want to. Add another question down here and keep going. When you do that and you assign it out to the students and they open up their assignment, they will see this quick assessment, which is a nice formative assessment either to start the class or to end the class, a way to maybe give a quick grade or understand students were in attendance that day. And it automatically grades it in your grade book. So you don't have to review these answers. You're saying what the correct answer is. When they click on it and take it, it automatically imports it into your grade book, saving you steps. So if you did a Google form or a Microsoft form or a Kahoot or something of that sort and using it for a grade, you're gonna have to take whatever that grade was, come back to your grade book and import that. Well, in this case, it's automatically done for you, which is super simple. The idea is to streamline that process. There's also,
Hey,
yes.
Patrick, can I interject?
Please.
Sorry.
No.
With the quiz, is it like a one and done when they take it? So
I
like
believe
if we
you can
do a
reassign
redo
it.
on that, you
Yeah, I believe you
reassign
can
it?
reassign it. Yeah, there's ways when you go back into your grade book, you can actually reassign, you know, same as you always have been able to do. You put a grade in there and you give a student another opportunity because we're assessment for learning, right? You, hey, take it again, you know, and see if you can do it better this time. Yes,
Okay.
and what's nice is it automatically puts that in there. You also have the ability for a discussion board. So a discussion board is nice because you can add it in there. You can allow students to edit their responses. You can say, especially for informal opportunities where you're not really wanting to take too much of a formative grade, but a process kind of grade, you can give a question. How are you doing today? You know, or what's going on? What did you do? What did you learn from what we did yesterday? Things instructionally like that. So you can throw those in there and count on their discussions. So as much as they reply back to one another, you can control their responses and make sure they're good responses, how many times they need to do it, things of that sort. So that would be the discussions. Let's see, let's get rid of that. You can add that on there. Student submissions. So you can have a student submission. They can submit through an editor, a text editor, where if all you want them to do is at the bottom of the assignment, click I'm here, or you know, you say some kind of check-in or whatever, they can just type in the assignment. They don't have to upload anything. What I would do is just uncheck file attachment, boom. So they can't upload anything. All it is a text editor like this that they see, and they can type in their answer. Now for the younger students, K1, 2, that might be more of an issue. And that might be where you throw it in for more of the quiz, you know, to where you do the quick response for quick assessment, because then for your younger grades, maybe you can just have them click on whatever their kind of response is. How are you doing today? Good, bad, indifferent, and kind of keep up on them in a homeroom scenario. So that would be great stuff there. If you're a teacher, you can also search for different content that's out there in the world. And one other thing before I move on to teachers a little bit, because you can share amongst your teachers, there will be another option here, which is called Google. And what Infinite Campus allows is for, if you have a Google Drive, you can actually upload a document from your Google Drive into here instead of uploading a document from your computer. So you can upload it into there. Students can then pull it down into their Google Drive and edit it and do things of that sort, and then resubmit it. And then you can see it all kind of digitally. Now, they do not have that yet for OneDrive. We think it is coming, but They haven't been too forthcoming with that yet. But we know that it is there for Google. It's just not here because we still have to set it up. We're still in that stage right now. So what's nice is once you go through and create your assignment and you submit it, you can actually submit it for different students if you need to. Some of you guys know how to do that. That's down here with individualize. So if I click individualize, which it's not set up yet, but you can individualize this assignment so that it goes to maybe just certain members of your class that have to have a differentiated assignment. So you can create 2 assignments for something like that. So that would be the assignment level. So I'm going to say yes, because I want to get out of that. And then it would show up here into the different assignments that you have the ability to score. And I'm not going to mess it up right now with those. But then when you come to a student, let me pull up a student one. Cool, there we go. So a student logs in, and what they would do is come over and you would see where it says assignments due today. So as a teacher, if you submit, created those assignments, you would say the due date, it would show up here for the students. Parents also have the ability to see assignments. So your younger students are able to be supported by their parents because they can pull up the parent portal and see what assignments their kids have that day to be able to assist them. But every computer that is deployed has a link for parent or for student portal on there. So as the students log in the first time with their username and password, they can click save password. And then when they go to student portal and click on the tab, this will automatically show up for them. So they can see what their assignments are that day. I didn't assign it, so it's not there, but if they do have it, and if they have it for multiple classes, middle school and high school, they have different sections, it can be there.
My other one, I'll just turn my camera this way so you can go
But
up
for
downstairs.
the elementary, maybe you just have one assignment for homeroom that includes the Zoom link that they use the whole day. And then you have other assignments for your different sections, like a math assignment that you give every couple days, or maybe a language arts assessment, or a project-based learning where maybe the assignment is due at the end of the week. So different options there, but at least the students will have the ability to see the assignments and submit the assignments from this location. They'll be able to pull that document down, do whatever work they need to on it, and then resubmit it all in one location. So they're not jumping out to, now they can go to Teams and Google Classroom, and maybe that's where a lot of the instructional materials are housed because that's your digital classroom. And then after they go through and learn that or watch whatever you post in there, things of that sort, they would come back to this location to submit whatever assignment you have, which goes right into your grade book when they submit it. So then you'll see it here and you'll be able to grade it all in one place. Instead of pulling it down from a Teams or a Google Classroom, grading it separately and then coming over here and clicking and clicking and clicking. If it's a Google upload, it'll put it right there. You can click, 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 click. Like I said, the quick assessments are automatically scored for you. Discussions, you can go in and grade those. And there's more information, especially that's going to be provided during those 2 trainings that I emailed out. And I think Zach is going to be sending out the calendar invites for those. There's one this Friday and one next Friday. And they're going to go into greater depth on how that looks and how to do a lot of this. I'm just kind of giving the overview today, kind of brief, and then get some questions from you guys. But these are features that especially secondary teachers, you may have seen some of those already because we've always had these services. We've just never really pushed those out as far as advertising them and stuff because they have to be set up. And honestly, that's something we had to work on. Now that we're in year 2 of Infinite Campus, we're in a good place for that. For teachers, another area of campus learning is the planner. So as I create those assignments for the different sections, it actually creates my plan for the entire week, and it'll put all the assignments here so I could graphically see all those assignments I created and for all the subjects and color code them. So if I need to click into them, this is a nice graphic way to see it. Another thing, especially for probably elementary teachers, is Message Center. So in here, you can create a new message that doesn't go to emails, or it can, depending on how your settings, that you can call it a class message, goes to the entire class. You can also send missing assignment messages, grade messages. Again, some of you have used it before, but a class message and then the subject. And you can go in and talk about, here's my link for Zoom today. Instead of making an assignment, you can make it a message. And again, parents get these also. You can say whether it's just in the inbox or whether you want it to be emailed out also. and then you can type in, here it is. You can put the link to your Zoom in here, add different fields if you want to add like, hello, Mr., or add the student's name or something like that automatically. But those are ways you can send out alerts. Cancel out of that. Oh, close and okay. And they will show up. This shows you what you sent out and what you receive, but it'll also show up in the students. Pull it up here again real quick. They also have the message center as well, and it'll show up here for them. And parents have the same idea, so you can see their information. So these will go to students and based on you from your classes, and a way to individualize that for them without making it an assignment. Teachers, you can see your discussions. So if you assigned a lesson as a discussion, you can actually come here and see them without having to go into the assignments. You can see what discussions you have out there and jump in. You also have other learning tools, progress monitoring, attendance, roster. You've seen these already in campus instruction, seating charts. So like I said, these are all things that have been in there, but they're things that we're now intentionally targeting to use to make items more streamlined for teachers, students, and parents. So if you attend that meeting on Friday from Infinite Campus or on next Friday, again, Zach's gonna be sending that stuff out, and it was in my email also. You're gonna get greater depth of training, because I believe they're an hour length as far as how to do a lot of these things. So definitely worthwhile. I'll be creating some videos on how to do snippets of this, gradebook, planner, message board, things like that, and put it into a training as well. So I guess at this point, I wanted to, let me see if I, here it is right here, get some feedback from you guys so I can build out some of those trainings. So I'm going to use Mentimeter. You guys have probably seen this before. So what you would do is on your computer, go to menti.com, and then here's the code to use. And if you could type in some thoughts based on this, right? Word cloud will put those thoughts in there. It doesn't have to be full sentences, just chunks, ideas, concepts. And what I can do is use that to guide my little short trainings I'm doing, but also on our back to school training, there's going to be a large section devoted to learn for everybody as well. And so I can target some of the needs at that time in person as well. With the 21st of August being an individualized training from Infinite Campus just for Valley Park. So our hope is that at that point, it is just a review opportunity with an expert from Infinite Campus. And then we've covered a little bit of what's going on ahead of time and given some training materials so that you can on your own kind of dig into it, knowing that we're around. But also if anybody needs to jump in with us also, we can come down. And like with the elementary, you're meeting with grade levels next week as well for gradebook. So opportunities where we can do some of that as well. So yeah, if you could go to menti.com and use this code to add some thoughts in there. I'm going to open it up real quick. Let me stop recording real quick. Oh, come on. Give me just a second.